Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. And we're going to talk about Android app links. When we're talking about links in general in Android development, we usually think of deep link because that's most famous and that's most used. But there are more details when it comes to deep links. So deep links just direct you to a certain page, certain contents. You're trying to achieve something with this kind of linking. So let's start by this illustration. We have this deep links which handles a URIs, and this URI can be considered as URL. And for your information, just for your information, all URLs are URIs, but not every URI is a URL. If you don't understand what I mean, it's simply okay. Just consider it as URL. Just simply consider it as URL, but you need just to be known that not every URI is a URL. Anyway, these deep links handle URI. This URI is provided by whatever you have linked through another app, whatever sort. And we have this web links which handles the scheme provided with this URI, like HTTP or HTTPS. And we have the Android app links, which only handles the auto verify attribute, which means that we're gonna direct the user specifically to the certain app that handles this URI. So let's talk about different types of links. We have first deep link, which is a URI of any scheme that take users to specific part of your app. To create a deep link, you need to add a filter, intent filter, to drive the user right to your app through as the correct activity, as shown in this example. And those are the default intent filters that you will probably implement in almost every aspect. And if you have seen this, we have the scheme HGeo, which is not the HTTP or HTTPS. It's different geo scheme. All right. When you create a deep link and you, for example, call that deep link, you will have some kind of dialog like this one, and we have this example map URI, and the user clicked on it. We have this dialog popped up. It shows you how can you handle the request of the deep link. How can you work with it? So those two apps can work with it. The Android operating system just asks the current available applications on the device, which of your apps can handle this case, and each app has its own intent filter, and it will search for this intent filter throughout all the apps available, and until they find what's suitable for this app, it will show him in this dialog. And that's basically as the deep link. If we have a web link is the use of HTTP or HTTPS scheme. And since Android 12 or higher, clicking a web link will send you directly to the web browser and not an app on your device. Why? Because that's for security reasons. But on previous version other than before Android 12, you can open this URI, or actually this deep link on an app that apologize. So before Android 12, you can call this deep link, which will result in opening your app or other apps that handle the web link. So for Android 12 and higher, you will open the web browser unless you handle the verifying process of your URL, which is your host here. So if you verified that this is your own domain, then you will open your app on your own. But if you didn't verify it, then it will be handled through the web browser. And before Android 12, you on Android you will open your app or other app that handles a web link. User might not go directly to the browser. Instead, they will see some dialog like this one, which will tell them choose which app to handle the process. That's before Android 12. Now, for the Android app links, which is very simple, it just contains this auto verify attribute, which allow you to designate itself to the default handlers for certain URL. So specifically for this domain, if you have if you had the request with this domain with a scheme whether HTTP or HTTPS, that means that your app and only your app will handle this case, and you probably need to verify you should, to be honest, verify your app through this approach. Let me call it, yes, verify app links. Open it and you will find a big large document talking about how can you verify your domain and using this JSON, and it's starting from Android 12. You can manually verify how the system resolve your app links. So anyway, that's basically how deep linking work, and that's just an overview. You can read more about it, but there is a lot to read, to be honest. So that's just an overview on how can we make our deep link work in our app.